What the hell are you doing? Give James back right now! How could you take the groom from the wedding venue? What were you thinking?
It's not like I kidnapped him. He came with me on his own.
I'm standing here in my wedding dress. Everyone is waiting. Where have you taken him?
Huh? You saw it yourself, Emily. James came with me willingly. That means he chose me over you on his own.
We've been planning this wedding for months. The guests are all here. Our parents are devastated. How could you do this to your own sister?
I just couldn't help myself.
At least tell me where you are so we can talk about this.
We're already on our way out of town. There's nothing to talk about.
You're running away? Just like that?
Yeah, so even if you tell me to give him back, I can't. It's clear that he and I are connected by the red string of fate. We're meant to be together.
Connected by fate? You're my sister! We grew up together! How could you do this to me?
Just give up on James already. He's mine now.
Give up? But we were about to have our wedding ceremony today. Right before walking into the venue, this happens.
You never really understood James like I do. We have a special connection.
Don't be ridiculous, Sarah. Come back here and explain yourselves.
I know I did something terrible to you, Emily. Running away with the groom right before the wedding must be traumatic. But our true love can't be stopped by anyone.
True love? You're talking about true love while destroying my wedding?
James and I have been messaging for months. He told me how uncertain he was about marrying you.
And you never thought to tell me, your own sister?
It would have only hurt you more. This way is better. So anyway, good luck dealing with everything. James and I are going to live our lives being true to love.
Sarah, please, think about what you're doing. Think about our family.
I already have. James is worth it. We're turning our phones off now. Don't try to find us.
Sarah! Sarah! Answer me!
Hey, Emily, what's up?
James, you're only messaging me now? After what you did?
Sorry about yesterday, Emily. Were you able to cancel the wedding?
Yes. Since neither you nor Sarah were answering your phones, I had to apologize to everyone by myself and somehow managed to cancel it.
Man, really sorry for causing so much trouble. But you're amazing, Emily. Handling everything calmly by yourself. You're such a strong woman.
Don't give me that crap. I just dealt with it because I had to. My mind's been completely blank since yesterday. What's going on? If you're running away together, does that mean... were you two having an affair?
Yeah, Sarah and I have been together for 6 months.
That long? And 6 months ago? Wasn't that around the time we signed the final contract with the wedding venue?
Look, I know the timing was bad.
Bad? I was picking out flowers while you were with my sister!
The day after we booked the venue, I happened to run into Sarah at a bar. And one thing led to another.
You're laughing about this? Really?
Chill out, Emily.
You've got to be kidding! Having an affair the day after we booked our wedding venue.
Well, what could I do? We've been drinking, plus I always thought Sarah was cute. We did decide it would just be a one-time thing.
You always thought she was cute? She's been around our entire relationship.
I tried to resist my feelings for her.
Then how did it turn into running away together?
Sarah told me she couldn't forget about that night, and before we knew it, we were dating.
While planning our wedding? While choosing our future home? You know, if you were going to date, you should have broken up with me first. Then I wouldn't have had to go through such a humiliating experience on my wedding day.
Alright, calm down. I didn't expect Sarah to show up. I've been with you for 5 years and you meant something to me. I mean, I actually broke things off with Sarah the day before the wedding.
What? You broke things off with her? Then why did you leave with her yesterday?
Sarah agreed to break up then, but I never expected her to show up right before the wedding saying come with me. She was desperately reaching out to me. What kind of man would I be if I ignored Sarah in that situation?
But abandoning me at the altar was fine?
Come on, there are times when a man has to do what he has to do.
Don't you dare talk about being a man. You betrayed the one person you should never have betrayed. Your own fiancé.
Come on, calm down. I understand why you're angry. What's done is done. You're kind and strong, so you'll accept everything, right?
Huh? Accept everything? You want me to just forget what happened?
Of course I'll take responsibility. I'll give you all my savings as compensation for running away. It's almost $200,000. That's a pretty good amount, right?
Really? That much?
I really do feel bad about what I did to you, so this is the least I can do.
Money won't fix what you and Sarah did to me, but I guess I'll take it if you're offering. Wait. I want to accept your offer, but will you and Sarah be okay after eloping? I heard you submitted your resignation to your company right after. That you're going to live just the two of you somewhere where no one knows you.
Actually, I've already got my next job lined up. I'm going to work at a company run by my college senior, and I'll be an executive.
What?
Of course, being an executive means the pay is incredible. I'll be able to save up $200,000 again in no time. I've got a young, cute girlfriend. I'm a company executive making great money. My future's looking bright.
You sound pretty happy about ruining my life.
Sorry, but I can't help it when everything's going so well for me.
Yeah, becoming an executive is pretty impressive, but why did your senior offer you such a position? Being a company executive is quite a favorable arrangement.
I guess he wanted to help out his junior who was in trouble. All my seniors have been pretty good to me since college.
But still, an executive position is basically like being a business partner. To trust such an important position to someone who ran away from their wedding.
Actually, my senior's way beyond just eloping. He's got 5 girlfriends. He said he was looking for someone like me who wasn't bound by conventional morals.
So you're proud of being immoral now? I see. Birds of a feather. In that case, I'll gratefully accept the $200,000 compensation. And that's the end between us. Don't ever contact me again.
Leave it to me. I'll transfer the money right away.
I never want to hear from either of you again.
You'll have the money by tomorrow. Goodbye, Emily.
Emily, will you hear me out? Please don't block this number. I really need to talk to you.
What?
Help me, Emily. Please help me take care of James. No, actually, could you just do all of it for me?
You have some nerve messaging me after a year of silence.
Don't be so uptight. I need your help.
You suddenly contact me and the first thing you do is make demands? Why should I? And what do you mean care? James is only in his 30s.
I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but, well, you see, James, he got into a traffic accident.
What?
It was a single vehicle accident, so he didn't hurt anyone else. He crashed into a utility pole, totaled the car. His life isn't in danger and his injuries are healing well, but he damaged the nerves in his legs, so he can't walk.
When did this happen?
A couple of months ago. I've been trying to handle it myself, but...
Those nerve injuries, they won't heal?
Well, the doctors say no matter how much rehabilitation he does, he'll never walk again. They say he'll be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life.
That's terrible, to never be able to walk again at such a young age.
Whatever. I'm the one having it tough. I'll have to take care of James in his wheelchair for the rest of his life. But I can't do it alone. That's why I need your help, Emily.
You ran away with him. He's your responsibility.
What? Why would you say that?
That's my line. Why are you asking me for help? I don't even want to see your faces anymore.
I know what we did was unforgivable, but this is different.
If you're so desperate, why don't you ask James's parents first?
I already tried that, but they immediately refused.
Really?
I contacted Mom and Dad too, but when they all finally replied, they just said no way, and that's it.
Oh?
Even his own parents won't help us. Can you believe that? They said they absolutely won't help no matter how much I beg. They don't want to see our faces. They asked me to remember how much trouble we caused them a year ago.
Well, both families had a hard time because of your elopement, especially James's family, since so many relatives had come. They had to go around apologizing to everyone even more desperately than I did.
That's why you're the only one I can turn to, Emily.
Even if you say that.
You were always the responsible one, the one who took care of everyone. Look, I know a lot happened a year ago, but you got $200,000 from him as compensation, right? Since you got that much, can't you just let the elopement thing go? The money resolved everything. Let's just pretend it never happened.
What?
Your only little sister is in trouble, and James says he's anxious about just having me. The person you were once engaged to is in pain. If you really loved him, you should help. You'll help us, right, Emily? He's had an accident and can't walk. It's really hard.
Sorry, but I don't have a sister.
What? Emily, please don't say that.
That day a year ago, when you two ran away right before the wedding, from that day on, I cut ties with you. I don't have a sister anymore, so I can't help even if you ask.
Hey, what are you saying? Even if you cut ties, it doesn't erase the fact that we're related by blood. Legally, you'll always be my sister.
True, legally, we're still family, even if I disown you. But I'm still declaring that I'm cutting ties with you. I don't have a sister anymore. I'll live as if you don't exist. I absolutely won't help you, no matter how much trouble you're in.
No, after everything we've been through together.
I sympathize, but try your best without relying on me.
This is ridiculous! After I begged so much, you don't have to be so cold about something that happened a year ago. Besides, we paid you almost $200,000.
James paid that, not you. Don't act so high and mighty when you haven't paid a cent.
That money should count as being from both of us. The amount was way more than the standard compensation amount. After receiving that much money, you could at least help us. Just let the elopement thing go already.
You keep saying that, but the money and this are separate issues, okay?
What?
The settlement money aside, that was compensation money for you two to take responsibility for what you did. Just because I accepted it doesn't mean I've forgiven you from the bottom of my heart.
But...
So, there you have it. It must be tough, but good luck. Power through with your true love.
Emily, please, don't do this.
Emily, I need to talk to you.
What now?
So you really won't help us? Sarah begged you multiple times, but you refused?
Yeah, I'm not going to change my answer just because you've switched players.
You really don't want to help us, huh?
Yeah, I don't want to help.
And what are we supposed to do from now on? I can't even walk anymore. Sarah can't handle everything alone.
You know, I have a simple question. Why don't you hire professionals? You're an executive at your senior's company, right? You must make quite a lot. You could easily afford a private caregiver. It must be tough, but you could solve this with money.
I wish it were that simple.
The company wouldn't fire you just because of an injury, right? I mean, as an executive, you can still work even in a wheelchair, can't you? It's just my assumption, but you're not like a regular employee who needs to walk around for sales. You basically just sit at your desk typing on your computer all day, right? So a wheelchair shouldn't be a problem for our work.
Yeah, you're right. Except that would only be true if the company still existed.
What?
Actually, the company went bankrupt a while back, and I haven't told Sarah about this yet. No company, no job. Can't afford to hire a caregiver.
What? The company went bankrupt? How? How does that happen in just 1 year?
It was already falling apart by then. I was deceived by my senior.
What?
Things seemed good, and my salary was decent. But the truth is, my company was already on the verge of bankruptcy. I was just invited to join a failing company. Then my senior ran away with the company's money and disappeared.
What? Your amazing new job, your bright future. Oh, what a shame.
Remember I told you you had 5 girlfriends? Well, they were all married women. When all their husbands found out at once and demanded compensation, he took the company's money and ran.
Well, that's such an absurd reason for embezzlement. I'm speechless.
Worst part is, I never saw it coming. Apparently all of them demanded cash payment up front. With compensation for 5 people, it added up to hundreds of thousands. My senior was the type who never saved money. Always spent everything he had. So obviously he didn't have that kind of money. And then...
So he used the company's money to pay them and then fled, after dumping a failing company on you.
I was always given the boring behind-the-scenes work. My senior handled all the management. I had no idea what was going on with the company. Then suddenly my senior was gone. No money in the company, and then bankruptcy came so fast.
Oh my.
I couldn't think straight that day. I just knew I had to get home and tell Sarah everything. I got in my car and started driving. Next thing I knew, I was in the hospital.
I heard you hit a utility pole. You must have been driving while in shock. It's really fortunate you didn't involve anyone else.
Keep thinking if I had just stayed with the old company. But I never thought I'd end up unable to walk from the accident. And apparently the insurance will only pay out about $100,000. That kind of money will disappear in no time.
If this had happened while you were still with your old company, you might have had workers' compensation and various other benefits, but it happened after the bankruptcy.
Everything's falling apart. Please help me, Emily. I'm not asking you to take care of me with Sarah, but could you at least return that $200,000?
What?
I was kind of full of myself back then. I guess I paid way above the standard amount. So I'm not asking for all the $200,000 back. Just the amount above what would have been the standard compensation.
Sorry, I've already used all of it, so that's impossible.
What? You used it all? It was $200,000, and it's only been a year. How could you manage that?
Actually, I bought a condo right after. Used the whole amount as a down payment.
What?
After the worst day of my life, that was the only way I could think of to move on. I took the plunge and bought a spacious condo. Thanks to that, I'm enjoying a comfortable new life every day.
My $200,000? No way! Then what are we supposed to do now?
That's something for you and Sarah to figure out together. You're a couple, after all. But first, you need to tell her about the company's bankruptcy. It'll be hard, but you can do it. Compared to running away right before a wedding, this is nothing.
Emily, please. I know I don't deserve your help.
You're right. You don't.
I made a terrible mistake.
Goodbye, James.
Please, let us live in your condo, Emily. I heard you bought a spacious place with his money.
Why should I have to live with strangers? That's absolutely not happening. I refuse.
We're not strangers, we're family. Don't be so cold, please. I heard about the company bankruptcy from him too. And you know what? Apparently that runaway senior had some debts. And we have to repay that money too.
Is that so? By the way, how much debt?
$200,000.
My, that seems to be quite the recurring number.
This isn't funny, Emily. We're desperate. If you still had that $200,000, then we could have paid off the debt. Since it's kind of your fault we're in trouble, you should help us in exchange.
My fault? How exactly is this my fault?
If you hadn't used all that money on a condo...
No, you're in trouble because of a certain runaway senior. And before that, because you both eloped. Well, I sympathize. I have nothing to do with this. Not my problem. Figure it out yourselves.
How can you be so heartless after growing up together?
That's what you asked for when you ran away with him on my wedding day. Deal with it.
But we can't. It's impossible. I'll apologize for James, for running away, for hurting you a year ago. I'll get on my knees, so please, help us.
Look, aren't you misunderstanding something? I'm not being mean because I want you to grovel.
Huh? Then what do you want from us?
I don't want apologies. I'm not being cold because I want you to say sorry. I simply can't forgive you, no matter how much you apologize. Even if you get on your knees, my resentment will never go away.
No, but we were so close once.
Running away right before a wedding and with my own sister. Do you have any idea how deep into despair I was thrown that day? I'm sorry, but even seeing you two in despair now, I can only think that it serves you right.
Emily, I know what we did was wrong, but this is different. James can't walk anymore. We have nowhere to go.
You two have your true love that was worth betraying family for. With that, you can surely overcome anything. So you'll be fine. Work hard together. And since you're being so persistent, I'm going to block both of you.
Please don't block us. We have no one else. No!
Remember what you said to me? True love can't be stopped by anyone. Adios, my former sister. Life is still long. Don't despair. Just do your best.
Emily, please! At least let me explain everything!
I immediately blocked both their numbers. Then I explained everything to our parents and relatives and asked them to never tell anyone about where my new condo is. Everyone kindly agreed, and when those two frantically started